Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are live to go over the results with you for round one of our hashtag Disney restaurant bracket. And this is round one of our table service round in the parks. And we have another one coming up later in the week that's going to be our table service round that is outside the parks at the resorts or at Disney Springs. But I am joined by my husband, Evan, tonight. So, Evan, welcome in. And Evan is going to be the one that's actually going over the results with all of us because I have not yet seen the winners of these matchups yet. So, Evan, take it away.
Well, hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. I had to remember what day it was there for a second. Hope everybody is enjoying their nice evening. Let us know where you're watching from in the comments. That's always fun to see. And by all means, please let us know your reaction to the results as well. These are what you chose, our followers on social media chose. So I'm going to share my screen with you so that we can see the results. All righty. Our first matchup in the table service category in Disney parks. Now, you'll notice today on our channel and on all the social media outlets, we have table service restaurants in the Disney resorts and Disney Springs. That category started today. And so we'll have those results 2 days from now. We'll show you those results then. But this is table service inside the parks. And the first matchup was Viennapoli against Coral Reef. And probably not a surprise, Viennapoli won that one by a margin of 58% to 42%.
That was a really interesting one because that was an Epcot matchup. And we talked about this a little bit when we revealed the bracket, but Viennapoli is in the Italy Pavilion and it's just really, really good food. It's got a great atmosphere too. But if you're eating at Viennapoli, you're eating there for the food. Whereas Coral Reef, although it has good food as well, you're more eating there for the ambiance because you are in the Seas Pavilion and you are getting to, have that view into the aquarium. So definitely if you have, kids who love aquariums, that is a fun restaurant. But I agree with the voters on this one, and I would have probably picked Viennapoli as well.
And let's see here. The Parker Show is with us again. They said they can't wait for this. I'm excited about that. And this is a nice little comment. Danny Boy said, thanks for doing these matches. It's helping us decide where we should eat. And I'm so glad. I'm glad this helps. I was just thinking about that actually earlier today that this is really helpful to people because you're getting to see from a substantial, population sample, I guess. I mean, not substantial, but because Disney's a big old place. A lot of people go to Disney. But you're getting a taste from people who have been there a lot of different, all the different parks and everything, what they think are the best restaurants. So, I mean, I agree with that. This is helpful for many reasons. It's fun, first of all, but it's also helpful because it does let you know what are the best restaurants to eat at. And the Parker Show said they totally agree with Viennapoli, and I agree as well. But thank you all for interacting with us. And I, like I said, I agree with that comment a whole lot because this is beneficial. This helps people know, like, we see questions all the time online, like where should I eat? And what dining reservations should I look for? Well, this is letting you know for sure. So I'm glad you said that. I'm glad this is helpful. All right, our second matchup in the inside the parks table service was a tough one. Okay, this is two favorites, Liberty Tree Tavern and Tony's Town Square. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not really shocked at who won, but I am very surprised by the margin of victory here. The winner was Liberty Tree Tavern. And it was not close. It was 71% to 29%.
But here's the thing. I actually disagree with the voters on this one because I love Tony's Town Square restaurant. Now, part of that is because I love Lady and the Tramp, and that is a Lady and the Tramp themed restaurant. Lady and the Tramp was one of my favorite, Disney movies growing up. I had a Cocker Spaniel named Lady after that movie, so part of it is that it just has a soft spot in my heart. But I actually think the food at Tony's Town Square is really good. It's Italian food. It's not the most authentic Italian food you're going to have, but it's good. And I also love the location right there on Main Street. I love the atmosphere inside that restaurant. It's a great place to eat and watch the cavalcades. Not that I'm like, Liberty Tree is a great restaurant too, but just based on my own personal preference, I would have probably picked Tony's over Liberty Tree. But definitely that is not the crowd's opinion, as you can see from that margin of victory. But you can't go wrong with either one, though, because they're both great restaurants.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I said, I thought it would be close. And so it doesn't surprise me that Liberty Tree won. It surprises me just how much Liberty Tree won by. Like I said, you either got Thanksgiving dinner or Italian food, and we had everybody loves Thanksgiving. So that explains that one. Go ahead, Jen.
Well, I was just going to say too that Liberty Tree is fairly substantially pricier than Tony's Town Square as well. So if you're looking for a bargain, that might be another mark in Tony's favor too.
Yeah, I had the shrimp Alfredo. Was that what? I can't remember. It was really good. I remember that at Tony's. But so hey, there's a surprise. Well, apparently not just to us, I guess. But there you go. So the next one, hang on. Somebody said, let's see here. There you go, Danny Boy. He said this doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, apparently we're the only ones that got surprised by that. Because 71% of the voters said, yeah, let's go to Liberty Tree. So that's cool.
And that's why I put Tony's Town Square on my list of top 5 hidden gem restaurants at Disney World, which if you want to find out what the other 4 are, check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GingerMMT.
That was a sweet plug, kind of baby. That was nice. All right, so the next one, we got the Canada Pavilion in World Showcase against a restaurant in Animal Kingdom, Tiffin's. And the winner here was Le Cellier, and it was fairly close. It was 59% to 41%, so it's pretty evenly split.
That's a really even matchup too, because both of those are signature locations. They're both fan favorites and they're both great. So that one was always going to be kind of close, but I'm not surprised to see that Le Cellier came out on top because it is just a great and iconic restaurant, particularly if you love steak. So.
And the next restaurants here, Mama Melrose's is in Hollywood Studios. It's actually over near the Muppet area in Hollywood Studios. And Teppan Edo is in the Japan Pavilion. And I hope I'm saying that correctly. In World Showcase. And this one actually surprised me a little bit. And it was pretty close. But the winner was Mama Melrose's. And it was 60 to 40. So that's fairly close. But it was, I actually expected Teppan Edo to win. But once again, I was wrong.
Yeah, I'm actually not surprised by this result at all because Mama Melrose's is, again, another hidden gem. It didn't make it on my list, but that doesn't mean that it's not in maybe my top 10 hidden gem restaurants, which maybe we'll do that video sometime in the future too. But Mama Melrose's is, again, Italian food. It's great. It has a fun atmosphere. They have a lot of really fun desserts there for kids and stuff like that. So they have their spaghetti cupcake there, which is a lot of fun for kids. And I think it's always a great choice. And lots of times people overlook it at Hollywood Studios because they'll favor some of the other restaurants like Hollywood and Vine, which is a character meal, or very heavily themed restaurants like Sci-Fi Dine-In or 50s Primetime Cafe. But Mama Melrose is an excellent choice. So definitely give it a try next time you're in Hollywood Studios.
And that's one thing that I think we've kind of discovered as we've been doing this is just how many good restaurants there are in Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios is a tremendous park. I know it's the smallest of the 4, but we were talking with one of our friends just yesterday. It's a quality over quantity situation, I guess you're looking at with Hollywood Studios. And Danny Boy said, I love Teppan Edo. Totally understand that. Absolutely. And he said, never eaten at Mama Melrose's. And now we know maybe That's one to try. But that's what I see. That's my thought was Tepanetto is like so iconic in Epcot. Like it, it's what you think of when you think of the Japan Pavilion, and so that's why I expected it to win. The Parker Show said Mama Melrose was the first restaurant. Oh, that's really cool. That's really neat. Man, I don't even know what was the first restaurant I ever as a kid.
Yeah, I don't even know.
That's a good question.
I remember eating at the Plaza as a kid. That might have been my first.
That's a really neat comment. I'm trying to think. So I have photos from when I was a little kid. We were at a breakfast, a character breakfast at the Polynesian. That's probably the first one, I guess. I don't know. I was like 2. As an adult, like when we've taken our kids, the first one we ate at was Casey's Corner.
Maybe. I don't remember. Well, no, it wouldn't have been Casey's Corner. It would have been something in Animal Kingdom, probably.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know.
Pizzafari.
Pizzafari.
Pizza, that's what it was.
Yep. Which is not great. It's fine. It's just not spectacular.
The Parker Show said they wrote it down. That's why that's a good idea. That's a very good idea. Document everything. That's an excellent point. That way you don't forget things. Very good idea. So our next matchup, let's see here. Oh, this matchup, y'all. Oh, I wish we could do this one last, but it's up next, so we got to do it now. This matchup right here. So if you'll recall, we had a tie, or almost a tie in the quick service round, the first round of the quick service. We had one quick service matchup that the deciding vote, it was 1 vote difference. Literally, that's how close it was. 1 vote. This one, about 1 hour before voting was over, maybe even less than that, probably about 30 minutes, this was tied. And as we were wrapping up the votes, it was still tied. And so we actually messaged some of Ginger's friends in the agency and said, okay, we got to know. like y'all got to vote. Like what would you vote for? And we messaged several of them, and the results came back in. And once again, by one vote, the winner was Sci-Fi Dine-In. It was so close, y'all. It was 51% to 49%. It was so close.
And that's, I mean, I'm not at all surprised that it was that neck and neck. Because it really is, it's a split between, are you there for atmosphere? Or are you there for really good food? Because Sci-Fi Dine-In has arguably some of the coolest theming of any restaurant on property at Disney World. But Yak and Yeti is just genuinely good. And they have a very interesting menu, but it's still, accessible to everybody, even if you have somewhat pickier eaters in your party. It's just good food. So yeah, I'm not surprised to see Sci-Fi come in on top, but I'm also not surprised that it was a real close matchup.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like this was definitely an atmosphere versus food matchup for sure. And actually, this is cool. So this was good timing. Danny Boy said that was Yak and Yeti was the first restaurant they ever ate at Disney World. That's cool. And the Parker Show said, yeah, same thing. Sci-Fi is better atmosphere, but Yak and Yeti is good. Exactly. So, I mean, this was certainly an atmosphere versus food quality matchup for sure. Closest one we've had yet. All right. So our next one. Now this one broke my heart. Okay. I was shocked at the results. I was like, come on, man. Listen, both of these are great. Okay. Chefs de France and 50s Primetime Cafe. They're both, I mean, you got a lot of fun and, good Southern food and that kind of thing. And just a fun atmosphere, retro atmosphere in 50s Primetime Cafe. But the French Pavilion is like the most beautiful pavilion in Epcot, and Chefs de France is gorgeous. It's a romantic atmosphere. Right now in the spring and early summer, you've got the really cool topiary of Belle and the Beast out the window. So I mean, it's just a really neat place. I thought this would be super close. I mean, I did. Well, buddy, it wasn't. It was not close at all. The winner was 50's Primetime Cafe, and the margin of victory was 74% to 26%.
Okay, so here's, y'all want to hear my prediction? I could be totally wrong. I expect to see 50's Primetime Cafe have a little bit of an uptick in popularity, riding on the back of WandaVision and that fun retro vibe that was part of that show. I would not be at all surprised if we start to see more people wanting to kind of feel like they live that a little bit. We have eaten at 50's Primetime Cafe. We enjoyed our experience there. I did not feel like it was the best food that I've ever had at Disney World, but I definitely loved the theming. Evan and I both love retro stuff. We love stuff from the 50s, 60s. And so it was right up our alley in terms of theming, and we really enjoyed that aspect of it. But it was one of those places where personally, I don't know that I necessarily would go back there for every trip, but I definitely would eat there again because we enjoyed it. But oh, that breaks my heart too, because Chefs de France is not only in the France Pavilion, it's kind of like the heart. It's the centerpiece of the French Pavilion. Like it's that beautiful, wall of windows that you pass by when you first enter the France Pavilion. So yeah, but
that's a good point. Yeah. It's kind of the showcase of the France Pavilion. I mean, now obviously Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is going to kind of be the showcase, but forever until now, or however long, those windows have been there. It's been like the main architectural feature, at least. And let's see, do I have a photo of that in here? I might. If so, I'll show y'all. We got a really cool photo of that one time. I don't know, I'll look for it here in a little bit. So let's see here. We got a few comments coming in. Our friend Doug. Hey, Doug. Says, just wanted to stop by and say hey to two of our favorite people. You guys rock. Hey, we appreciate that, Doug. You rock, man. They're some of our very good friends.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Let's see. Chefs de France is on my list for an extra. Absolutely. And actually, Ginger and I, we're going down in June, and that is on our list for a little date night. Just the two of us are going down there. That we always in the summer go down for a couple days and try to stock up on footage. And the Flower and Garden Festival is my favorite festival of the year in Epcot. So we're gonna be going there for sure. We will be going there for sure this time around. Let's see. Danny Boy said 50's Primetime was fun, but the food wasn't the best. Yeah, I totally agree. Do you agree with that? I think you already said you agree, didn't you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I loved the atmosphere, but the food was all right. I mean, maybe what I had wasn't the best option. I had the pot roast. What did you get, Evan?
I had fried chicken.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good.
Yeah. I mean, it's comfort food, but I could also go to Docking Bay 7 and get a very similar pot roast to what I had at 50's Primetime and pay probably a little bit less.
That's true. In all fairness to fried chicken everywhere, I've had the luxury of having your mother's fried chicken. And listen, that's not a slight to Ginger at all, okay? But her mom makes some incredible fried chicken, okay?
She does. I don't even try because I know I'm never going to be able to touch it.
And I realize that now probably are like, oh man, you never say that about like your wife, but Ginger is amazing in like every single way, and including culinary skills and just being awesome at everything. So, but I guess, her mom's fried chicken is legit, y'all. It's really good.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best I've ever had. And probably second to that is Grand Floridian Cafe. So like all fried chicken in the world gets compared to those two, and it's never as good. So it's just not fair to all fried chicken.
Let's see. Parker Show said, I like Chefs de France more. I mean, the atmosphere, I keep going back to the atmosphere. It's just beautiful. It is beautiful. Bobby Joe said, hey, Bobby Joe, how's it going? Bobby Joe is one of Ginger's coworkers, friend of ours. That's exciting. We're glad you're watching with us. I agree, Nathan. This is cool. I agree totally. Oh, hey, cool. Danny Boy's gonna be there in June. Oh, that's cool, man. That's awesome. And Katie, hey, Katie, how's it going? There's another one of our friends, one of Ginger's coworkers. That's exciting. She said 50s prime time is her absolute favorite. Absolutely. I mean, it's a fun place, and it's okay. Now, if we're talking location, well, I mean, still Chef de France is in France. That's a pretty sweet location. But as far as like being in Hollywood studios, I mean, is there a better location than 50s prime time in Hollywood studios?
Oh, I don't think so. I love that little stretch down there
Absolutely.
around, by, where Hollywood and Vine is. I love
Mhm.
that whole little corridor down through there, especially at Christmas time, 'cause they have these really cute little retro ornament-inspired Christmas decorations on the lampposts, and
Right by the water. And
it's a great place.
I mean, you just think about that one little area of Hollywood studios. You've got Hollywood and Vine, 50s prime time, and then I don't know, maybe 250 feet away, you've got Hollywood Brown Derby. I mean, it's just that's a pretty good area there. And now you've got Mickey's Runaway Railway right there. So that's a powerful location. But I agree, it's just fun. It's a fun place. And Ashley said, "Hi, hey Ashley, this is another of our friends, one of Ginger's coworkers. It's good to have you joining us this evening as well. That's really exciting. We're glad people are joining us. That's fun. Well, our next matchup, let's go ahead and clear that one off of there. All right, so we got two more. Rainforest Cafe in the parks. Remember, this is inside the parks, not at Disney Springs. This round, this was inside the parks versus the Plaza Restaurant. That's going to be tough for Rainforest Cafe. I'm just being honest with you. Yeah, no surprise. It was actually closer than I thought it'd be, honestly. 59% to 41%.
Yeah, the Plaza is hard to beat. Talk about great location. You're right there at the end of Main Street. You can see the castle, as you know, from some of the outdoor seating. It's right next to the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor, which is also a perk. And it's just a great place to eat. They have really good food. It's pretty inside there. It's just a really good choice. And Rainforest Cafe is a lot of fun, particularly if you have younger kids. They're gonna love that theming. They're probably going to like a lot of the food too. But Rainforest Cafe is a chain, and so you can eat at Rainforest cafes in other locations, and so maybe it doesn't feel specific to Disney enough for it to edge out some of those restaurants that you can only eat at when you're at Disney World. But the Plaza definitely would have been my choice too.
Yeah, I totally agree. Now this last one here, this one kind of surprised me too. It was close. It was pretty close. Okay. And you kind of do have two iconic restaurants here. I mean, Hollywood Brown Derby, the history within the restaurant, just the location, I mean, it is like the restaurant in Hollywood Studios. Like it is that one. Skipper Canteen, obviously fun and uh, iconic in Magic Kingdom for sure. So the winner, and like I said, it was close, but the winner was Skipper Canteen, and it was 58% to 42%.
Yeah, I mean, Skipper Caventine, especially if you're a Jungle Cruise fan, it's just themed so cool in there, and it's right in the heart of Adventureland. And it's just like it's one of those places where it's like Disney Imagineering at its best because there's just stuff to look at everywhere in that restaurant. Little inside jokes, little hidden doors and hidden rooms and things like it's just incredible in terms of the theming. And the food is really interesting too. Like they have a very kind of adventurous, interesting menu. And I think it's a great choice for Magic Kingdom. So I'm not really surprised to have seen that. I did see a question come through on the comments that I wanted to grab real quick. The Parker Show asked, the Rainforest Cafe food isn't very good. I agree. It's not the best food I've ever had either. But I enjoy the atmosphere. Where's the park location? So it is right inside the entrance of Animal Kingdom is where it's located in the parks. And then there is also, yeah, Danny Boy said the same thing. And there's also one at Disney Springs, but the park location is literally right inside the entrance to Animal Kingdom.
And then the
You're muted again, babe. Made it almost to the end.
Almost. Almost. I'm almost made it the whole time without making sure I was muted. So yeah, they said they're not surprised about Skipper Canteen. And Danny Moore makes a good point here. A signature restaurant just got beat. That's by a non-signature restaurant, and that's a good point. So it was close. It was close. So when you look at this entire bracket here, I'll scroll up a little bit. So here are the round of 32 winners, or the ones who made it to the round of 32 from the Disney Parks category. There are some very, very interesting matchups for the second round in this group. Viennapoli against Liberty Tree Tavern. Oh man, like that's going to be a good one. So this one,
I think 50's Primetime's going down in that one. Personally, that's my call. But those are two very similar restaurants. And in fact, if I have clients who are interested in one and it's not available, I typically suggest the other because they are just that similar to each other.
And they're almost right next to each other. Like they're so close to each other in Hollywood Studios. And that's one thing that's interesting about this too. If you look at this list right here, typically when you think of great food at Disney World, at least, I mean, maybe it's just me, but if I think of great food at Disney World, Epcot, that's the first, like World Showcase, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. When you look at this list, only 2 of the 8 that made it to the second round are from Epcot. That's it. 2 of them. There's 1, 2, 3 from Magic Kingdom, and 1, 2, 3 from Hollywood Studios. None of the Animal Kingdom restaurants made it, which is very interesting.
Yeah, and I actually prefer the quick service locations in Animal Kingdom over the table service locations.
You got Flame Tree Barbecue.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard.
What
to
else
say
do you
no.
need?
That and Satuli Canteen. I mean, really, you're covered for breakfast and dinner with both of those. If you want to eat at Pizza Safari, you can, but it's not great. Sorry, Pizza Safari. Hating on you a little bit tonight. Yes,
it'll be tough.
Will take some thinking for sure.
I'm going to take 1 second to show you what's coming up today and tomorrow. So that's coming up in 2 days from now. It'll be fun, character dining. But right now on the social media channels right now, including YouTube and Facebook and Instagram story, basically every social media outlet, you can find this group right here, these top 4 matchups: Sanaa against Morimoto Asia, Toledo against Kona Cafe, Art Smith's Homecoming against California Grill, Three Bridges against Ale and Compass. So those today started the voting for the resorts and Disney Springs table service restaurants. And so those 4 matchups are today. Tomorrow, you will see these 4 matchups on there as well. And then, so the day after tomorrow, which will be Thursday, we will reveal the results for this first round of the resorts in Disney Springs. So, we had 64 restaurants. We took 200, narrowed it down to 64. Obviously, it's going to take a few days to get through that first round. But I'm not kidding y'all. After the first round, this is going to go boom, 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 real fast. Because then once we get to the second round and we come back over here to the quick service, here, I'm going to zoom out. We come back over to the quick service. You'll notice we're still doing 4 matchups a day. And so these 4 matchups, the whole second round in the quick service will be 1 day. Then the whole second round in Disney Parks will be 1 day. And so it's going to go super. And then when we get to the Sweet 16, one whole side of the bracket, the quick service and Disney Park Sweet 16 matchups will be 1 day. So, it's going to start going real quick, but we so appreciate everybody having fun with us and enjoying this with us. We hope it's as fun for everybody as it is for us. I love this. I think it's a lot of fun. And just like Danny Boy said earlier, I think that this, lets a lot of people know, well, here's where I need to be focusing whenever I want to make dinner reservations or lunch reservations or whatever, because this is letting you know these are the best things. And some of the results I've been seeing so far today, I've been keeping up with it all day long. some of the results from today are very interesting. I won't give away anything, but one of these 4 matchups, I'm really surprised at how lopsided one of them is. And one of them in particular is very interesting. What people are valuing and voting on. I'm learning stuff too as we do this. And Katie agrees. Katie said, "This is so fun." I totally agree, Katie. It is a lot of fun, isn't it? I think this is a blast too. It's a lot of fun. And Danny Boy said again, "Thanks for doing this. This is fun and educational." I really appreciate that because that's the way we view it too. So I'm glad it's helping. It is a whole lot of fun, and it's fun to put them against each other, and see what happens once we get into it.
Kudos to Evan because this is actually his brainchild. So all of this is, coming from my basketball March Madness loving husband who was like, let's do this for Disney. That would be fun. So, and I'm enjoying it too. I'm looking forward to next year. We're already starting to kind of brainstorm what we're going to do for next year's edition of, our version of March Madness. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, next year we're thinking about park rides. Which ones are like. And that we could do each individual park, each region, each category could be each park and have the top, I don't know if we could do 64 in that. We probably have to narrow it down to 32 and do like 8 from each park, but that would be a lot of fun. The Parker Show said, "Thanks for taking the time to do these streams. I enjoy these." Hey, we love it too. And we so appreciate, we've had so much interaction tonight. Thank you all so much. That's been awesome getting to see everybody comment and everything. That's so fun. That makes this fun for us too. And so the next live stream will be two nights from now on Thursday night. We will reveal the winners of the Resorts in Disney Springs category. That's the word I was looking for. If you are curious about any of these, we have a playlist on the channel that is Disney restaurants, and we also have a playlist that's just character meals that we've had videos of and stuff like that. And so if you're curious about more of these, feel free to go check those out. And Jen, I'll let you take us away. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Jen, you can carry us out here.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to remind everybody that if you're thinking about visiting Disney World, just remember that my planning services are completely free when you book your vacation through me. And booking through me is the same exact price as it is to book directly on Disney's website, except in that case, you have to kind of research all of the stuff on your own. Whereas when you're working with a travel professional, you have somebody to ask, what do you think about this restaurant? Or what do you think about this? Which one would my kids like better? You have an easy way to kind of access that information without having to scour the internet or anything like that. So if you're interested in getting more information or a free quote, you can visit my blog at www.gingermmt.com. But thank you so much for joining us tonight.